This one hits kind of hard for me, but we got to talk about it. Malcolm Jamal Warner died. And for many of us, we kind of watched Jamal Warner grow up on television. Like we watched him grow up as Theo, and then we watched him evolve to his own show, Malcolm and Eddie with Eddie Griffin, right? Like we watched him and all the other Cosby kids grow up. And for many of us, we were shocked to hear that Malcolm Jamal Warner died. He was in his 50s. He's still relatively young. But that was the news that broke. Apparently, he drowned while in Costa Rica. So we lost a good one, and I'll get into the details about that in just a second. But let's get into this clip.
The actor Malcolm Jamal Warner, widely known for starring in the hit TV sitcom The Cosby Show, has died. Police in Costa Rica tell ABC News Warner drowned near a beach along the country's east coast. He was just 54 years old. The Emmy nominee won the hearts of Americans, starring as teenage son Theo Huxtable on The Cosby Show from 1984 through 1992.
We'll pause it here because they go into a clip from the show, which we can't show. But I want to say something here, guys. Like when I was growing up, my parents never pressured me to go to college. But my parents did tell me if I didn't get good grades, I wasn't going to get an allowance. So my motivation there was, I need to do well in school so I can get allowance, right? But it was the Cosby Show that encouraged me to go to college. Like I said, my parents never said you have to go to college. Some of my friends' parents told them that, and some of my friends' parents told them what school they had to go to. Right? So, yeah. But my parents didn't do that. But watching the Cosby Show, that was the first time, even as a kid, seeing a Black family on television where the mother was a lawyer and the father was a doctor, and they had 5 kids and they lived in New York. And we watched the journey that those kids made, whether it was on the Cosby Show or A Different World. We watched Denise go to college on A Different World. And it was almost like I didn't know them personally, and I'm sure you guys didn't either, but it was a parasocial relationship that was established because I could look at them and say, hey, I could be like that someday. I could go to college like Denise. So I was the first one, in my family to graduate from college. And I don't think a lot of people understand that during that time, what that show meant to a lot of Black people and Black families, that the encouragement that it gave us, hey, maybe I should consider college. It was positive. And we watched Theo go through so many, ups and downs on the show. And also he was the only boy. That was the other thing. He was surrounded by sisters and he was the only boy and he had his own, struggles. Theo got his ear pierced. We remember those episodes. He tried to hide it from his parents. And Malcolm Jamal Warner was never one of those child actors that you heard about on the news getting into trouble. In fact, I didn't remember that with any of the Cosby kids, to be honest with you. They grew up to be pretty well functioning adults. A lot of child actors have difficulty going into adulthood, right? And still trying to find work as an actor. And we've heard all those horror stories, whether it's from shows like Different Strokes, etc. But not with this one. So for many of us, those were people that we looked up to. I did notice that Denise, Lisa Bonet's character, is not in this. I don't know why. I think they have squashed things. I thought that she had kind of, squashed things with Cosby and the crew. But Denise was also a big one. Let's get into a little bit more about what happened here in Costa Rica. I want to bring this up as well.
Warner recently starred in the Fox medical drama The Resident. He was also a producer, director, poet, and musician. He was married with a daughter, but chose not to publicly disclose their names. ABC News' Matt Rivers is tracking the latest from Mexico City, along with ABC News contributor Roxy Diaz and her Los Angeles bureau. So, Matt, let's start with you. What more do we know about Warner's death? This was a drowning. Anything else?
Yeah, not a ton of detail coming out. Everything that we're getting at this point, as we continue to investigate this story, is coming from the Costa Rican National Police. They're confirming to ABC News that Warner's body was found on Sunday afternoon. They were able to positively identify him. They said he had been on a family vacation on the country's east coast, roughly 3 hours driving or so from the capital of San Jose, in an area, a beach called Cocles Beach, which is near Limon. So that's on the east coast, on the Atlantic side of this country. It is a popular tourist area. Certainly lots of people going in the water there all the time. But what we're hearing from authorities is that there was a high current in the area that day, and they believe that is ultimately what led to his death. Again, his body being discovered Sunday afternoon.
And
I want to add here, I have been seeing people online say things like, well, he should have known how to swim. Well, first of all, that high like current like that, even if you do know how to swim, you could still drown, right? Like, I don't know if he knew how to swim or not, but I'm just saying, I'm seeing people say that online, and I'm just like, first of all, why are you saying that after someone just died? And two, you can still drown if there is a high current. Fire says strong current in the ocean is no joke. Yeah, exactly. The gall of some people, it's ridiculous.
Roxy, he was absolutely beloved, adored by so many Americans, coming as a shock to all of us, and especially to the entertainment world. How are other celebrities and how's the industry in general reacting to this?
I mean, as you can imagine, we all feel like we lost a family member. Malcolm-Jamal Warner was loved by, I wouldn't even say just Americans, by the world. The Cosby Show having a huge impact on raising many of us. His castmate on the show, The Resident, Morris Chestnut, wrote out saying, heartbroken to hear the passing of Malcolm-Jamal Warner. Working alongside him on The Resident was an honor. He brought so much depth, warmth, and wisdom to every scene and every conversation. Tracy Ellis Ross also speaking out, saying, I love you, Malcolm. First and foremost, you first met you as Theo, just like the rest of the world, and he was her first TV husband. My heart is so sad for this news. What an actor and a friend. You were warm, gentle, present. Magic Johnson also speaking out that he and his wife Cookie are sad to hear about the passing of their dear friend Malcolm-Jamal Warner. Just super fans of the hit show Cosby's as well as The Resident. And every time they ran into each other, Malcolm would have fun and deep conversations about basketball, life, business. He will truly be missed. And Beyonce also speaking out, as many others are, just remembering the impact of what he meant to so many of us in our households.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's something to talk about. I mean, it just, this isn't someone that was known for controversy or anything. And from what I understand, it seems like Malcolm-Jamal Warner was a very private person. You didn't hear him putting his kids out here like that, like some people do, some celebrities do. You didn't see him doing that type of thing. And a lot of people know him for the Cosby Show. But like I said, like in the 90s, he was on a show with Eddie Griffin called Malcolm and Eddie. And I remember that show. There's interesting story about that as well. Jamal Warner said this in a recent or not too long ago interview that they were getting close to the 100th episode of Malcolm and Eddie. And the studio decided to cut when they were in the 80s. So apparently, if they would have made it to that 100th episode, that means you're going to get some more money, right? Like, and also, of course, residuals as well. So the studio came in to cut that short. You know what I'm saying? Like just sneaky things that are done like that. And I remember that show. I thought it was pretty funny. He was a musician. Malcolm-Jamal Warner played the guitar. You guys know that he played the guitar, had his own little band thing going on. He was also a poet, smart dude. Like the actors that played the Cosby kids, like they were kids growing up on the show, and they went on to just do so well. And I think there's something to be said for that, right? I think my favorite, I have to show this. This is probably still one of my favorites till this day. It's gotta be this, man. It's gotta be. Can we reminisce? The Gordon Guttrell. The Gordon Guttrell shirts. For people who haven't seen this episode, I gotta tell you, this is, I think, probably my favorite episode. And it's because Theo, he paid like 90, I think 95, $97 for a shirt. And his dad, so Cliff was pissed that he spent that much money on a shirt. So he told him to take the shirt back. And Theo said, "But Dad, this is a Gordon Gartrell. This is like, huge. It was like, fancy designer and all that kind of stuff." And so Theo had to take the shirt back to the store. Well, then Denise, who's played by Lisa Bonet, his sister, Denise said, "I can make you that shirt for a lot less. Just give me some of the money that Dad was going to give you, that Dad gave you to get a different shirt, and I'll make the shirt for you." So Denise decides to make him a Gordon Gartrell, and this is how the shirt came out. Like, it was hilarious. Like, it's a funny episode, you guys. Notice that the sleeves are not aligned. The pockets down here instead of the chest. The pocket was down at the stomach instead of on his chest. But I think one of my favorite episodes of The Cosby Show, it was hilarious. And he was like, "Denise, this is not Gordon Guttrell. I can't wear this." Like, da-da-da, that type of thing. But just loved it. Loved that episode. Again, like I said, Malcolm-Jamal Warner, based dude. And who can forget his friendship with Cockroach? And see, many didn't know this as well, unless, they went on to watch the next show. But the sitcom Martin featured Cockroach from The Cosby Show. And on Martin, he was Cole. See, a lot of people forget that's Cole from the sitcom Martin. But Theo and Cockroach were best buds, man. And it was just so cool. Like, you go back and you watch The Cosby Show and you'll see a lot of people that had guest appearances on there who weren't famous at the time. Like, a lot of people forget this, but Adam Sandler used to be on The Cosby Show. Every now and then, he was also one of Theo's friends. There were a number of people that came on, but they just weren't famous at the time. And Adam Sandler went on to become a crazy ass Zionist. But that's another story. Something that Malcolm-Jamal Warner said, just to give you an idea of who he was as a person, I thought this was important when he was talking about the language in hip hop. Listen to this.
There should be a moratorium on both of those words in hip hop because it's low-lying fruit. It's so easy. Everybody fucking does it to the point that it's corny. Like there are MCs who I love, who I cannot listen to anymore because I love J. Cole, but I had to stop listening to J. Cole because I got tired of hearing nigga and bitch
as much
every two sentences because he's proven himself to be such a incredible lyricist
that you think it's just too low hanging fruit for him to use those words.
I feel like there should be a moratorium on both of those words in hip hop because it's low lying fruit. It's so easy. Everybody fucking does it to the point that it's corny. Like there are MCs who I love, who I cannot listen to anymore because I love J. Cole.
So that was how he felt about the language in hip hop, which I think that I can relate to with Malcolm on that one. That's something else I didn't really care for. There's a lot of rap songs I know that we like to dance to and stuff that do use those words, but that was something I had a pet peeve about too. I didn't like people always using that word and stuff. Like, you don't have to use those words to get your point across. And I think that's something that LL Cool J said that his grandmother told him, you don't got to talk that way to get your point across. So just to show you the type of person that he was. And this is the video that everyone is sharing that they said was his last video that he posted before he passed away.
What's good?
Yes, I got the flower in my hair. Today's my daughter's birthday. She put the flower there, so I'm rocking it. What? It's a beautiful day here in Atlanta. I just wanted to shout out and just spread some love and some good cheer. And you know, life is out here lifing, right? For me and for everybody else. But just wanted to remind you, as I remind myself, that no matter what's going on, there's always a reason to smile. Like if you just take a minute to stop and take stock, I guarantee you can find at least one reason to smile. And if for some reason you can't find a reason to smile, then that's probably the best time to be the reason for somebody else to smile. So find a smile for yourself and be a reason for someone else to smile. That's all I got. Listen to love because it's been a minute. Peace and love, and I'll be back soon.
I know, Angie. Angie said I'm crying. I know. Yeah, that's rough. Malcolm-Jamal Warner, man, another good one. Another good one. Hey guys, this was a Sabby clip. If you like what you saw, hit that like button and subscribe.